So this video today is actually for passengers and drivers because I'm going to talk a little bit about the situation at airports and how passengers can get an Uber ride at airports and what drivers need to consider too. So obviously, there's a lot of regulations and issues going on at airports all across the country. And, these airports are not super happy with Uber because they're taken away from the taxi business. And, they want to get that $4 airport fee, which, who knows where that goes. I'm sure it doesn't go to a good place though. And, so as far as if you're a passenger and you're at an airport like LAX where maybe you can't request an Uber at the airport, it's pretty easy to get around this. Drivers aren't going to come and pick you up at the airport, so all you have to do is hop on one of those hotel or courtesy shuttles and you can cruise right out. And I tried it out as a passenger just a few months ago or a couple months ago, and it was actually faster than when I normally used to call an Uber at the airport because they have to navigate through the traffic and all that mess. There's a ton of Uber drivers waiting outside the airport grounds, so if you're a passenger, I would definitely just hop on a quick shuttle, tip the driver $1 since you're kind of using it, even though you shouldn't be. But once you get outside the airport, and you're in a car rental or whatever, just call an Uber, and you can see when you move the pin outside of the airport grounds, there's tons of Ubers waiting. I mean, I check at LAX all the time, and there's always a ton of drivers right outside the airport, and they're basically waiting for riders who do that. They come right outside the airport grounds, so then they're kind of avoiding that airport, the whole fiasco. And then at the same time, you're not putting the drivers at risk because they could get in a lot of trouble right now if they're not licensed and they're doing pickups at airports. So obviously, there's some cities like San Francisco at SFO Airport that have some agreements in place and working on agreements in other cities. So if you are able to call an Uber X at the airport as a passenger, then great, go for it. But if a lot of times there might be a geofence where it doesn't even allow you to call an Uber X, all you have to do is hop on our shuttle, hop on, any of those rental or hotel, and cruise out just outside the airport grounds. Once you're there should be a ton of Uber drivers. You can check on the app, and that way you can call a driver as soon as you get out there. So, because as drivers, a quick message to all the drivers out there: if you guys are going inside of the airport when you shouldn't be, you're at risk right now and you're picking up passengers when you shouldn't be, even though there's that Uber geo fence, then if you get busted, I doubt Uber is going to be there to save you. So this, I'm sure there are still some drivers out there who are accepting PIN requests outside the airport, but still coming to pick up passengers. But you guys are putting yourselves at a lot of risk, and it's really not worth it for, a $10, $20, $30 fare when you're facing hundreds of dollars in fines. And, once the situation will get resolved eventually, but for now, I think it's a pretty easy, pretty simple thing to do, to ask the passengers to say, hey, if they request you and they're at the airport, to say, hey, sorry, can you cancel this request? Just take a shuttle, the nearest shuttle, and come right outside the grounds, and one of the Uber drivers will pick you up. So that way, if you're hanging outside, maybe you'll get it or someone else. But if all the passengers are coming outside the airport grounds, then now you're able to go and pick them up pretty quickly and easily and not have to deal with any of the hassle or the risk.